on the latest edition of our Hammer Horrors podcast, we covered The Curse of the Werewolf. And I said on that show that I thought that my first knowledge of a film called Curse of the Werewolf was through images not in a Dennis Gifford or an Alan Frank book, not in Des Skins's House of Hammer magazine, nor the fold-out Monster Mag posters. It was via these cards, bubblegum cards. You know, the old days of buying a packet of bubblegum cards. I think there was like 5 in a pack and a stick of pink bubblegum that was rock solid, and you would try to soften up in your mouth, but it would just like rip the roof of your mouth apart because it was just like chewing glass. Anyway, yeah, these were the cards, and I think this is my first exposure to not only the Hammer films, but the Universal films as well, because looking into it, these, when you bought them, on the packet it said creature feature. These were creature feature cards. But a lot of people call them You'll Die Laughing, and that's because on the back, there's always a joke on the back with this You'll Die Laughing. And from what I can gather, I don't know about, elsewhere, but at least here in the UK, it seems that the You'll Die Laughing was a separate set of cards. I don't think they came with these. They may or may not have. I can't see a definitive answer, but it seems to me that the original run were You'll Die Laughing. And it was little gag images, not unlike the old the British seaside saucy postcards, right? A piece of artwork and a sentence or two underneath. So yeah, I don't remember these at all. So I think maybe I've seen something about You'll Die Laughing was like in the late 60s, but it seems that the creature feature photo joke cards, because apparently that's what they are, let's see, came about around about 74. And 74, I know, was the time that the Aurora glow-in-the-dark monster kits were re-released here in Britain. And so I think 74 was like the ground zero event for me with a love of classic horror, in that, yeah, you had the Aurora kits and you had these. And I can very distinctly remember buying these. And I was buying them for the images that I was getting, certainly not the jokes. If you're not aware of what these are, what I've done is, this is 2 batches of cards that I bought off of eBay quite cheaply. I've just pushed them together and I haven't looked at them. There is one image in here that I remember from way back then, okay? It's not a Curse of the Werewolf image. It is a werewolf image, but it's not Curse of the Werewolf. And I remember being quite fascinated by it, all right? So here we go. We're going to have a look through and we'll see if these indeed are comedy cards, or are they breaking the Trade Descriptions Act. So yeah, as I say, it seems to be a mixture of Universal and Hammer films, which is pretty nifty. Yeah, this isn't funny. This is the monster saying, "Hey Charlie, time to get up." I'm guessing it's aimed at children. So yeah, the humour is rather juvenile. What have we got here? First monster, did you hear that my brother stepped in front of a train? Second monster, was he killed? First monster, oh no, the train was backing up at the time. Hilarity. All right, so yeah. So we're starting off with Frankenstein. There's the Wolfman. That's not the card. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. I'm going to try some of these jokes on the back, and if they're just not funny, I'm not going to bother. First beast, I finally stopped my roommate from biting his nails. Second beast, how? First beast, I made him wear shoes. Hmm. All right, back to Frankenstein. Could you direct me to the Olympic Stadium, sir? Says the torchbearer. Hmm. This is my last one of flipping these, I think. Mother Ghost, Igor, why did you kick your little brother in the stomach? Junior Ghost, I couldn't help it. He turned around too quick. Oh dear. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the covers. That's a mummy film. I don't recognise that. I don't recognise that image. I don't recognise that guy. I want to buy a good watch. What? What? I'm going to hold the cards here because they seem to be nicely in focus like this. So let's go forward. Dear. Oh dear. These are good images though. Some. There you go. Curse of the Werewolf. This is a model kit I'm doing at the moment, and um, yeah, what a classic hammer monster design, and a classic monster design all told. Wait till I get my hands on that hairstyler. Oh dear. Frankenstein again. I wonder if we're going to see any Draculas. Oh, good. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Mm-hmm. Wolfman again. Available for blind dates. Oh, oh, Mole Man. These are great images. My namesake. Well, that's not bad for a caption, I suppose. That's not bad. I think that's the best one we've seen so far. No, that's not good. Where's this image? Oh dear. That dates it, doesn't it? What? Who? Now, a few cards back. Yeah, there. I thought that doesn't look right. They've stuck somebody else's face. That's not the actress in that film. Who is this woman? Because that looks like her there as well. Is that the same woman? What is going on? Hmm. My first thought is to ask my co-podcaster Ian because he's very knowledgeable about Universal films, but he's younger than me, and I don't think he remembers these cards. They weren't around um, when he was a nipper. I'm going to have to send him a photo of these two and say, "Do you know what's going on?" If he doesn't, if you know what's going on here, why is this woman's face being superimposed over Elsa's? Can you let me know in the comments, please? No, no, this is getting silly now. There she is again. Well, I didn't know about this at all. I'm quite stunned by this. I mean, that head doesn't even match the size of the body. That's far too big. I've never seen mention of this ever. Mind you, you never don't see much about these cards anyway. I've got to show Ian these photos. Um, is the same thing going on there as well? I'm sure that's a different. That's not the right head. There's like crude photoshopping going on. That's a great photo. Fabulous photo. Now, now that's not Jack Pierce. Who are these people? Maybe it's an in joke by the creators of the cards. Maybe. I'm a brain. Yes, you are. That card must be coming up, the one that I remember from back in the mid-70s. Oh dear. At least they haven't put someone's face over Oliver Reed's. Is it coming up? There it is. That is the one. Werewolf of London. I remember having this card and just staring at that and wanting to see this film because, as you saw earlier, we've got the Lon Chaney Wolfman and we've got Oliver Reed. But this, the way he's posed like that, the bottom jaw jutting out like that, I wanted to know more back then. Oh dear. Suppose there's not a new head like poking up out of the water. We're nearly at the end. Chain smoking. Oh, good grief. All right, so that's been good to return to these, especially that one. I'm so glad I got that one. But what on earth is going on with this woman and that man? As I say, if you know what's going on, can you just let me know in the comments section, please? All right, I'm going to take a photo now. I'll go take a photo and send this to Ian straight away. Right, it's a few days later, and I have a addendum. I asked a few of my friends what might be the deal, completely forgetting to ask Ian. Sorry, Ian, if you're watching this. The first to come back to me was my friend Mitch Bryan, and what he suggested is absolutely spot on because I have looked into it, and it seems that the original creators of You'll Die Laughing, then released with black and white photos, the original creators were Topps, and Topps had the rights of the monster likenesses, but they didn't have the rights to any of the human, the regular people's likenesses. And this is why you've now got a substitution. And the answer to the question, well, who are these people? They are employees of Topps. These aren't substitute actors or anything like that. These are Topps employees. I guess garnering a bit of infamy. I mean, you could break the ice at parties and say, hey, I was a stand-in for Jack Pierce or Elsa Lanchester. So, yeah, that is the deal. And it's something that I hadn't spotted. What I've done is I've gone back through the cards and I've sorted out all the cards that I've got that have got humans in it. And blow me down, yes, every one of them has been substituted. So you've already seen that one. You've already seen that lady repeated a few times. This one, looking at it now, this is what was throwing me was I didn't recognise that bloke. Well, the reason I didn't recognise that bloke is he isn't in the blooming film. He's a Topps employee, that fella. Yeah, there's that woman again. And because, I guess like everyone, your eye is drawn to the monster. I hadn't spotted that that's a substitute face there as well. Look. All right. And here, again, I'm looking at the mummy. I'm not looking at the woman's head. I think that might be the same. Yeah, that looks to be the same woman. I think that's the guy in the mummy photo. And yeah, with this one, of course, you look at Frankenstein. Look at that for a haircut. That looks like a drawn-on hairdo as well. So yeah, there you go. Question answered. And so yeah, all right, that's me done. So see you next time. Before long, I'll come back with something else from my childhood, no doubt.